Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, we're going to look at the fourth Wild and Free quilt for 2025 design. I wanted to do at least 4 designs so that I could maybe create something that would interest just about anyone who wanted to sit down and slow stitch a scrappy quilt for home decor, for a lap quilt, something like that, wall hanging, even table runners, bed decorations, whatever they wanted to do it for, but to see how they could use their scraps in a creative way and actually make a quilt as you go, quilted as you go type quilt, easily done, and do it in small segments. I know for me that's a lot easier. I don't have a big area to work a big quilt. As I get older, my hands don't let me quilt as much in that sense either. So anyway, for all those that just want to try, for beginners who've never quilted or sewn a stitch in their life, this can be done easily if you just got some scraps. Now, as you know, we're doing a landscape quilt. We're doing a completely scrappy strings and strips quilt. And we're doing a circle quilt, circle and swirls. This one's going to be a floral quilt, but we're going to do it with the same scarf material and scraps that we're doing the circle quilt with. So if you haven't started a circle quilt, you might think about going ahead and start getting some scraps together for scarves. Or if you want to do this in other fabrics, that's fine too. But I'm going to do mine in scarf scraps because I love the soft feel of the fabrics. I love the endless array of colors and textures. I'm just going to do a 5-petal flower. I'm going to layer them up and I'm going to put a center in it. Everything is raw edged. Everything is simply stitched. What kind of stitching or extra embroidery or anything like that you want to do. What kind of beading, sequins, yarn, whatever it is that you want to do is up to you. So we're going to do, my square is 6.5 inches. Okay, I have a 6.5 square ruler. And what I've done here is I have a piece of batting. I have a piece of loose weaved fabric on top. I have stitched around the edges to keep this very frayed fabric from, fraying out on me as I work on it. I'm not concerned about those edges because I will be putting sashing in between these blocks as I quilt, as I put the quilt together. So how are we going to start? We're going to start by just getting one of our quilts, one of our scarves. And here's one right here. And you can see the multiple colors I've got in here. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to kind of fold up a little bit of an edge here, like that, and fold it over. I've got a square maybe about 3 by 3, something like that. Okay, I'm just going to cut that out of this scarf here. Just roughly cut. Don't overthink this. Don't stress over it. I'm just folding it up because I'm going to cut all the petals at one time. Okay. Now, I'm going to rough cut these petals. I'm not going to stress over that either. So I'm just going to take the corner and I'm just going to go out. I have some seams over here, so I'm avoiding the seams. I've got plenty of fabric here. I don't have to cut into the seams. I'm just rough cutting me a petal shape. Now we can tweak this petal shape once we get it cut. But as you can see, I've got petals there, and I've got lots of scraps, so don't throw those away. Now for me, there were 8 fabrics since I folded it the way I did, and I said I'm going to do a 5-petal flower. So I've got plenty to choose here from. Let's separate them and see what we get. See which colors we might want to use. And you just kind of position them the way you want them to come together. And you don't have to do, by the way, a 5-petal flower if you don't want to. You can certainly do less. Well, we got a little attachment on that one. These didn't quite come undone. This one has a tag along up there. You know what? I don't think I like the greens so much. I'm going to kind of stay with the greens a little bit. Not so much of the pinks, but more of the greens. Now I'm going to have to do something different. Do it there. Now we're just going to fussy up a little bit, just fussy our flower petals. Pull them in, because remember, you're going to have sashing, so you don't want your flowers going all the way to the outside. Maybe at least a 1/4 inch from your, I stitched a 1/4 inch, and then if I come in about another 1/4 inch, I should have, plenty of room there. And just fuss with them until you kind of get them where you want them. Okay, do I want a brighter one down in here? I think I do. Kind of throw some color in there. What I think I'll do is I think I will bring the green over that one. Okay. And I think I might just go ahead and throw this one in. And then this one. So we have this pink and green thing going on here. Okay, now I'm going to take these extra petals and I'm going to cut a smaller petal out of one that's left, kind of like that. And then I'm going to start layering up a little bit of this different petal look. Let's take this. These don't have to be perfect shapes. How do I want that? Maybe like that. that. And if I don't like these, I've got my little scraps over here, which I think I am going to use. I think I like some of this darker green polka dotty looking stuff. Stick him out there. Stick him in here. Stick this one over here. Ah, don't pull them up. This gauzy fabric sticks to my fingers. Come on, come out of there. There you go. Overlap them all you want to. They can squunch. Okay, I have this little piece here. I'm just going to leave it like it is. Okay. Now, what I think I'm going to do is, let me see what else I've got up here. I've got this piece of fabric. I don't like that much. Got that one and that one. Not thinking I like that either. Let me see what else. Got this one here. Okay, I've got a little bit more stuff pulled together here. As you can see, I layered up. I put a little bit of lace on here after I did the scarf fabric. And I had this little motif that I cut off of something, I don't know what, but anyway, it's a little butterfly and it's a perfect green. And I pulled out some coordinating threads here. So we're just going to stitch this now. We've made a flower, a 5-petal flower. We've made it out of scraps. We're going to leave it all raw edge. And we're just going to do a little stitching. Let's start with some pink here. And just see what we can do with this. Okay. I'm going to use 2 strands of the embroidery floss, so let me separate it here and get me something to work with. Okay. I wish there was something that came with embroidery floss already separated in 2 strands. There may be out there, but I don't know about it. And I love embroidery floss. I love the way it sews. I love the strength of it. I love the diversity of colors. It's just, and it doesn't add too much of anything like texture or anything like that when I don't want it. And so I use tons of embroidery floss. There's a lot of beautiful threads out there, but you know, I just love embroidery floss. All right. Okay, this is pink that I've got, so I'm going to work on the outer pink petals here, and I'm going just to do, I think, a little back stitch along the outside edge, just a small back stitch. And I'm not going to go all the way back, which is going to give me more of a look of a running stitch. But the back stitch makes it a stronger bond to me because of the strength on the back side as well as the front. And that'll just help hold these little delicate pieces in place better. Don't pull too tight because this gauzy scarf material will separate real easy. You can see how it's making a solid line back there. But on the front side, because I'm not going all the way back, it's just giving me the look of a running stitch. What I mean all the way back, I'm not going back and connecting with the previous stitch, just going a little bit shy of it. And smaller stitches makes it look more delicate. This will make 4 quilt patterns for this year, and that is all I'm going to do this year. I have some ideas that are percolating for next year, but 4 for this year I think is all that I can handle. I'm not even sure I can finish them all, but I'm going to try. And but I did, like I said, want to give a lot of variety as best I could to all my subscribers so that there's something that maybe will interest each one of them. One of these quilts they can try. And attack that scrap basket they've got. Like I said, I'm using scarf fabrics. Real delicate. This is a delicate fabric here. Like it's very gauzy, and but you can use your quilting cottons, fancy fabric, anything you've got. You can use this pattern. You don't have any templates. You just free cut this stuff the way you want it. If you want your petals to be shaped differently than mine, that's great. Go for it. Just however you want. If you want 4 petals or 3 petals or 7 petals or however you want to do it. All right. There's our first one. I think I'm going to jump across now and pick up the other one that has a lot of pink in it and outline it with pink. Okay. We will be attaching our squares the same way that we're doing on all our quilts. And like I said, I recommend that something like this, you know, be something decorative, something that you don't intend to have a lot of use, but more of a decorative item around your home, even a wall hanging, something like that. Lap size quilt are smaller depending on what you're going to use it for. You might make a table runner size that could lay across the end of your bed. Be pretty for decoration, or a table runner. Just all kinds of things you could do with it. It could be used, of course, but I think to me it's more of a decorative item than an everyday, lap quilt. Though using it occasionally for that purpose certainly wouldn't hurt it. Okay. We have that one and that one stitched in. And I think while I'm over here, I'm just going to simply stitch down this pink lacy stuff here. This is some stuff that I dyed. What was this? Gosh, I can't remember now. Some kind of fabric I got, but it was cotton, and it was kind of a creamy color, and I wanted something with color, so I dyed it. And so I got this pretty pink stuff. I'll have to take that pin out. Just stitch it around pretty good because it's very loosely woven. Beautiful texture when it starts unraveling. And I like that look when I'm putting it on something like this. I like all the different little unravel-y parts. You just have to stitch it down a lot. Get a lot of stitches in there. But if you got the right color thread, it really doesn't show. Your stitching doesn't show. But the texture of the lace shows. Okay, I'm going to have to get some more thread. Okay. Whoops, get that out of there. Get some more pink on here. Isn't that a beautiful array of color? And it just comes out of, one scarf. That's why I do collect scarves. They're beautiful for fabric art and other things like that. And this particular one, just like the circles, really allows you to play in the arena of fabric art because you just have so much control over your color and texture and design as you're working it. Okay. Let's go back in here and work on getting this down some more. well. Get off that corner. As a friend of mine used to say, just sew it every which way but loose. And it works. I just keep stitching until I feel like I've got it all down good. Nothing's going to pull out on me. And while I'm doing this, I am catching, you know, that top petal here. So that'll be ready for me to go around the edge here in a minute. Okay, I think that's going to get it. I think I'll pop over and do this edge. This one isn't as unraveled as much, so let's try going kind of just overcasting for our first round here. Use your scraps. Don't bother ironing them. They don't need ironing. Let them be raw edge. This is simple. This is scrappy. And it's wonderful too that if you've gone to the trouble to collect some scarves for the circles and swirls, you can do this flower also, and that way you won't waste any of those scarves that you took the time and the trouble to collect. You'll have another project to use them with. I've always loved florals, so I never do get tired of florals. I guess it's because there's so much variety, so much you can do with florals. And not that there isn't in all the other scrap quilts I'm making. There's certainly variety in all of those, but drop me a comment. Tell me which of the 4 quilts ideas you like the best, which ones you think you might try this year, and just if you're doing it already, how's it going? Are you happy with your results? Okay. I'm going to get this down a little bit under that circle so it'll lay in there tight. I think that's gonna do it. So I've got that, and that done. So let's switch colors. I want to put at least a couple of colors of green in. We'll see how that works out. I like that. I think this darker would be pretty around that center, and this brighter around the outside, and maybe this around the center. Let's try it that way. We'll get some of this dark. I hope these wild and free projects that I'm making where we're using all our scraps raw edge just the way they come, I hope they're inspiring you and giving you another avenue and maybe an easy way to create some things for fun and give you some ideas. So we're certainly sewing outside the box with these patterns. Well, it's going to get cold here again where I live. They're saying that maybe some ice and snow, which I said is, rare in my area, but it's the second time that we're supposed to maybe get some. We'll see if it happens. Last time we were supposed to get it, we got a few flurries, but we didn't get much of anything where I'm at. A little bit north of me they did, up more in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We're going to do just a little overcast stitch. On this little circle here. This green fabric, I bought a pantsuit at a thrift store. Beautiful green fabric, as you can see. And I'm thinking that I'm going to cut the pants of that up, get some long strips, and bind my scrappy strings and strips quilt with it. So you may see this fabric again if I, end up doing that. It's a linen-y feel to this fabric, although, it may be a type of linen, I don't know, but it's strong yet very lightweight. So I'm thinking it would make a good binding fabric. And it's certainly colorful, and that would go with that quilt is super colorful, as you know. I appreciate all of y'all so much. I appreciate all of y'all who have subscribed and you comment and you like the videos. That's just, you don't know how encouraging that is. When I started working on this channel, and I thought, I don't know if anybody will be interested in the way I do anything or not, but but I want to share it anyway, and if there's anybody out there that can benefit from it, I would love that. And I have been pleasantly surprised that so many of you enjoy it. You're trying some of the techniques and projects that I'm doing, and it's just so much fun. I love stitching along with y'all, and knowing that you're out there and that you may be doing some of the same thing. And even if you're not, just the fact that you'd spend some of your stitching time here with me, yeah, you know, that's a good feeling. I love it. Be sure to share the videos if you have any groups or people who you think would enjoy them. Be sure to tell them about it. Get that out of my way. I was so happy to find this little butterfly motif. He just worked perfect, and a perfect shade of green for the scarf. I'm telling you, sometimes things just work out so well, and other times you can hunt and hunt and hunt and you can't find what you want. One thing about thrifting clothes and cutting off the motifs like that, and the buttons and the trim and the lace and all that, putting them in containers or drawers and saving them, sooner or later you're going to find the perfect project for those items, and they're already made. They're done. Especially when you're working with unusual colors. This avocado color is, I mean, if I had to go try to find this new and buy this, I probably couldn't find it. And so I'm all for thrifting and saving all the parts and pieces. That's looking good. That's looking good. Okay, I'm going to stitch on this off camera and come back when I get it stitched, and see if we're going to do anything else, okay? All right. Till then, let's stay scrap happy.